Hi guys, this is Indian Chief 741 again. I put on a bigger carburetor on the thing. I went with a carburetor like this. That came off of a 450 Honda. It's one of those barometric slides, the constant velocity things. I went from a little under 1 inch on the butterfly to an inch and quite a bit. I drove it today, and I drove it all the way up to 65 miles an hour. But it still seemed like it was a little underpowered. When I pushed the pedal down around that 3,000 RPM range, it started to back off. I decided that, the going from the about a 1 inch butterfly to a inch and a quarter really helped. And I think the rest of the whole thing is that it's being held behind because this tube right here is only 1 inch. So I cut the end off of this whole unit here to show you. This is the chamber where the fuel actually comes through here. It's preheated and it goes through this hole here to come out the back side, which would be the front part of the motor. Now here, this is the exhaust, and this is really the exhaust pipe right here, and all the exhaust comes around this, and it heats up this inner tube here, plus this whole thing out here gets heated up. I got about 1/8 of an inch in here, I've got 1/2 of an inch in between here, and I've got another 1/8 of an inch in between here. Oh, I kind of did some calculating, and I went 3 inches from here down to here, and then the 1/8 of an inch from here to here, and there, I squared it, and then here to here, I just did 1, times it by 2, you know, and then I got up with about 2 1/4 inch area all the way around here. So I'm pretty sure that this part here, where the fuel comes in and comes wrapping around before it comes around and it goes down through here, is not restricting it. It's this 1 inch pipe right here. So I just took the saw and I cut it off here. And I'm going to take my thermal arc plasma cutter and I'm just going to come right around here. I'm going to cut it. And then I'm going to drop in this 1 inch and a quarter pipe. I'm going to do it by 1/4 inches. And then I'm going to cut the length of this pipe so it just fits right here. And I'm going to re-weld it back in. And and this is the end where it came out, where I had that elbow on there, where it came up and out. And I'm going to run the thermal arc plasma cutter right around here, and I'm going to cut this out. And I'm going to drop in that 1 1/4 inch pipe. And then now I'm going to go with my elbows, now instead of 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch. And now, like I say, this carburetor here was running great. I told you the other time when I did the 8-horse Briggs & Stratton thing, took me 6/10 of a mile almost to get it up to 55. This thing here, 1/4 mile. But I want to get up to, I need a little more performance out of it. And I think it's that this hole here is restricting it. So I'm gonna jump it up 1/4 inch, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna take the plasma arc, I'm gonna cut this out. I'm gonna come over here, and I'm gonna cut this pipe out here, and I'm gonna go to this pipe. So then I'll just cut that out, knock it out of there. Then I'll slide in this pipe, and then I'll cut it to length, you know, and then I'll weld it just like I did here. Then I'll weld it over on the other end. And then now I got this nipple, this is the end. This is where I was going to change out my rods and stuff. This this is going to get cut off here. And I'm going to go to the next size bigger, the 1¼ inch. Then I'm going to weld it all back on there. So I can experiment with this rod thing. I've been working on this. I kind of think this twisty rod here works better than the rod, because I've tried it before with the rod in it, and I've tried it with this twisty thing in it, and this twisty thing gives me a little more performance. I don't know, and it's dry as a bone. So I know all the fuel has been being burned. Oh, another thing is this this Kia is burning a little oil. And I had, through the vacuum part of it, I had to run my brakes and all that. I hooked up the positive crankcase ventilation in there. And I noticed when I had the rod in it, because I had pulled this off yesterday and put a rod in it. And I noticed the rod still had oil. So it's pulling oil from the positive crankcase ventilation in through there. And that rod had a little oil on it. But now that I put this twisty thing in here, damn, there was no oil on it at all. So I think this is working better than a rod. But we're going to try it. We're going to see what happens. By God dang golly, we'll... Gonna keep on doing these videos until I'm dead. We're gonna get it. Like I've said in other videos, we're gonna keep on experimenting. We're gonna keep. I'm devoting my whole winter to this. So thanks a lot for listening.